What we're working with, guys, when we're putting this in today. I've seen how people had problems with getting it to move around when they need to, if they get everything too situated. Okay, and this thing, so we'll just start putting them right down, lock them in place. Basically just push it down until it locks in. Main thing is make sure they're all seated correctly and bottomed out like they're supposed to be. So have them pointed more towards the inside like this. That way they don't obstruct on each other. They seem to go right in after that. And that one's in. So the main thing was making sure these two right here are switched around, because that's the way they're supposed to go. Length it needs to get into where it needs to go. Just keeping these pigtails off of each other so that they can have enough clearance to get where they need to go. Make sure you don't kink your lines. Just take your time. Okay, I think they're in. Just do that tug test. Yeah, they're seated in there. Right in. Oh, fun part, getting this down to here. There we go. There. Kind of freaks you out how stiff that is. They're standing straight up. But just give it, just kind of manhandle it gently. From Dorman, they don't have a new part number for the OEM one. So this is the next best thing, guys. This right here is where your throttle body's gonna go right now. We're gonna slide this in there. We'll follow the torque spec and sequence. Your vents to work correctly, right? Then you're gonna make sure we transfer this over from the old one. I'm gonna pull it out over here. And with it, here it is. Here it is. I'll show you. This line, not this stuff on the end. This thing's cracked, so I bought a brand new one of these. It's already attached to the new upper intake manifold, new genuine GM one. This one has a hairline crack in it. Look, right here. It's got a split, so it's caused a vacuum leak. Like dry rotted rubber. This comes off onto your upper intake manifold. You'll see when I pull the new one on. This is what I was talking about. So this comes off and this goes onto the new one. This part in my hand gets thrown away in my left hand. So this whole thing here, new upper intake manifold, comes with one of these. Put the new GM one for the part that's dry rotted onto the other one. The oil pressure sender. This is what gives your oil gauge, oil pressure gauge on the gauge cluster, your reading. This goes in the back part right about here. This thing screws into this part. We're gonna clean up all the threads, put new fresh thread seal on all that stuff. We got our upper intake manifold hardware on that tray there. Make sure. Okay, there you go. Now you can see that little end right there. That's where this little line's gonna go onto that, like that. So we'll do that now. Off, this hooks to the PCV valve that comes off the valve cover for the driver's side, which is going to be right here. Okay, that's bottomed out. Chase these threads. That's the thing we like to do here on the channel. We got our little thread chaser out. We'll go through all the way around. Lower intake manifold. So we got acetone ready to go to dip the tap in. Just doing this is just that extra assurance that this is just done right the first time, and we shouldn't have to get back in here again for any reason. So I'm gonna walk around the front and start hooking up the HVAC. It's the HVAC stuff, the stuff for the heater lines and the cooling, because that's easier to get to before I put that upper intake manifold in there too. So here's the hose clamp for that air. This spot here, stuff for the alternator right here too. So the one ground will go right to the thermostat housing right here. Be right on this side. I'll put that on just by hand for now. So kind of get stuff started and put stuff in place. This line right here is going to go to the lower intake manifold. Yeah, here it is. This bad boy right here. Route it around so we're not getting it into the obstructing anything, like the belt, serpentine belt where it's normally going. So ground back off a little bit and reroute it. It's like right in the way of everything. It's catching on the oil dipstick. So okay, that's through there. Because you definitely want to make sure all these lines are hooked up, because when you go to try to start it and put coolant in, it's going to start gushing if you don't do this. Just take this hose clamp, constant tension clamp, OEM style. These are the best kind because they're there for a reason. Contract and constrict based on how much pressure is going on in the vehicle with the engine running and whatnot. And they don't make your hoses all get weird like a worm clamp will. They're there for a reason. You just need a special tool like this to work with them correctly. If you don't have this kind of tool, yeah, they're like the worst kind of thing to work with. Okay, so I got this all cinched up on there. I'm gonna put this on the hose itself. Just let it rest on there. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it on the orifice that's supposed to go on. And meanwhile, keep in mind I had the battery terminal disconnected so that we're not causing sparks or shorting anything out while we do all this, because we're working with the alternator right here. And you can do some bad short to ground kind of thing and fry stuff. So it's going on pretty painlessly. Get her bottomed out, get your clamp in the right position, then we're going to release it. Yeah, that's about right dead center. Bam. Got a lot of stuff we could put back together now, because we can even put the bracket back for the power steering / AC too. That'll make this so it's not floating anymore, just hanging from 550 cord like it's been for the last month plus. Because we put all new power steering, pump and lines, and this everything's new down there except for the steering gearbox. The steering gearbox was fine, so there's no point in changing that. Gotta get context on what the heck I'm talking about. That little hose right here, see that right there, right above the Spider injector plug-in. That looks like that goes right underneath the upper intake manifold. I guess that's like a breather. Hose done, so that's, you know, checked off the list of all the. It's metric, guys. They did a little thing to you. Look at that. On a ratchet, and there we go. Dip that bad boy in there. We'll replace the cap so it doesn't all evaporate. There we go. Put right back in the hole we just went through. And this stuff takes inch pounds, guys, for the torque spec on this, and then it's a sequence. I'm thinking I'm gonna dip it in the acetone again, go all the way around. Just helps me sleep better at night knowing this gets done, you know. There's some crud came off it. Just a little bit there, not a whole lot. Got a paper towel here and wipe it off. Look at that, a little bit. I guess that shows the better contrast. So it's not like we just put it in clean into the acetone. Let's get this. Get the easy holes first, the ones that are like right down straight in front of me. Yeah, this is like what they call like a blind hole. It goes straight through. Or correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about that. So that one, pretty clean. We'll wipe it. Main thing is getting the stuff out of these holes and not transferring stuff all around. So we got 3 done and like, I don't know, maybe like 6 more to go. That's not that bad at all, because these are just doing by hand. So the amount of torque needed for this is like nothing. This one's got like some red sealant still in there or something like that. This one, okay, see the tap? It's got that big old put a socket. I really like that. This tap set's a lot better than that cheapo set I have. Yeah, that 11 fits like a glove. The U-joint keeper bolts are the ones. Let me back this up a little bit. I used that up and I didn't have to use the brand new one, so that one's still brand new, not open. Because the other one, I think I did it with for a differential. The cover on it, because I didn't have the gasket. I had some of that laying around. I just got it done with that. Wow. Wow, guys. Look at that. That's probably a good explanation as to why it's so hard to run that tap through. And the thing is, okay, just bottomed out right there. Thing, have an opinion of like how stuff gets leaks when you try to change stuff like this. They're not, I don't think they're doing all these steps, you know, following all the torque sequence and the spec for everything, and using thread locker appropriately and stuff like that. I don't have those issues, but I do these, you know, this meticulous stuff like you're supposed to, you know. So I had quite a bit of cooties right there. Not a whole lot, actually. Grab a Q-tip and dip it in acetone for over there. I'll dip the tap in the acetone too. Go back over and run her through again. Those Daytona jacks quite a bit. Okay, so we got some debris out of there. And you were able to fit your little Toyota in there, right? Let's see what came out. Yeah, some gunk came out on those flutes. I apologize if it's not focusing that great. Oh, 87. I was close. Almost the same price, honestly. This is just a better. So, haven't had as much Toyota action here on my channel lately. Injector plug-in through there. The throttle body hanging out here is going to go onto there too as well. And there's a whole torque sequence and specs for this as well. Some of it's distributor stuff and other things. Most of, like 95% of this is the upper intake manifold bolts. Going to clean up this hardware. Then we're going to do the torque spec, and we'll use some of the thread sealant slash So this stuff right here, it's thread sealant slash blue lactite mixed stuff. It's like perfect for this kind of thing. That's plenty. Next one. There's plenty. Just getting kind of started. Okay, that was a big glob. I don't want that much. Looks like I gotta send these down a little bit to get the clearance to get that one down. Like it's holding up a little bit. The reason why is the spider injector is kind of still not completely flat. Start them by hand. The stuff doesn't take a crazy amount of torque either. Even the torque specs at inch-pounds. That's smooth. Actually being torqued, yeah, and just getting it cinched down more and more around the whole perimeter. Try to get this one in though. It's not really all by hand, guys, so far. Well, on this thing especially. We don't want to cross thread stuff. That's funny. Kind of looks like Elmer's glue. We'll figure out the mystery on what's going on with these fasteners. A good little wipe down on the throttle body before we set that in place. I'm gonna put some brake clean on a rag and just wipe the mating surface. It's got a nice new idle air control valve in it, and throttle position sensor all in here. While I was already in here, I'm like, I'm just gonna change these out, you know. Just being careful and don't want to break nothing in here. Let's try to get this back up to where it's supposed to be. Make sure no lines are kinked or tangled. Alright, throttle body right there. I'll put that one stud in just to get a good place marker. The big stud goes on the back side towards you. This big one right here. That's for the throttle body. Just getting started by hand, not torqued yet or Loctite or anything like that yet on it. We're just getting this so that this holds it where it's supposed to be. Just gotta get. Looks like that much goes down into the lower intake manifold. Plenty. Get this light in here better. Right here, guys. Plenty. The throttle body assembly type thing. Yeah, I'd say that works. Yeah, nothing's torqued yet. We're just getting it all set by hand first. Vibrate loose is the whole point of that. All snug, but not quite, because we still have to do the torque sequence pattern on this too. Yeah, looks like we got all the fasteners in every hole. All the tools are in here. Let's get a finger tight. That's fine because we still have to torque it anyway. Torque spec and sequence. So 2 steps on this, guys. Upper intake manifold. Upper manifold right here, 96 and later, 44 inch-pounds first step. Next step, 88 inch-pounds. And then there's going to be a sequence. I'm going to pull up the sequence. An X pattern. So 44 inch-pounds. Set to 44 inch-pounds. We'll start in the X pattern. Okay, stopped right there. Okay, stopped there. Get the socket back off. Okay. Okay, that one stopped. Tighten these 2 front ones that for the throttle body that attach to the intake manifold. Like and subscribe, I really appreciate it. If you like this kind of thing, it helps me a lot. Alright guys, I gotta go. Till next time.